Saturday morning, Ian's got his gloves on, he's tidying up. The boiler has gone off because the chips bridged here and not fell to the bottom of the auger. So the hydraulics haven't been turning on to let more chip through. Just manually winding a bit of chip into the boiler after I've cleared the bridging under there. Put it back to auto and leave it, should stay okay now. What we're doing is we're looking into there, see where it's glowing, and in a minute wood chip will appear and it'll start glowing even more and start burning. There we go now, wood chips in there and it's now starting to ignite and we've got a bigger flame. This barley at the front of the pile is spring barley and the stuff at the back is winter barley. So I'm going to get that hopper and fill it with some of this. Then I've got it then as, if I need it as seed then for doing summer barley next year. Because obviously next year when we grow the summer barley, we plant it in June. We've not harvested spring barley at that point yet. So I only want to use cheap home save stuff in case it fails. So let's get some scooped up now. Then I can shove this heap up, tidy up a little bit. Got a red tractor inspection on Monday morning, so just want the shed to look a bit tidier than that when the pile just randomly tipped at the front of the rest of it. Got the pallet forks, just I'll carry this round and I'll take the lid off it, put it as close to the pile as I can, scoop the barley into it, and then it doesn't matter that it's wider than the bucket. I know I've got that seed snout on the other one, but there's no point, I'll just let it drop back on the floor, what won't go in, and then I can just scoop it back up with the pallet forks and move it where it needs to be, out the way. Yeah, the rest can scoop in now, and then what won't go in will just drop on the pile. Here the AdBlue pumping back. And then just push that right up then. The other day I said that that lid might blow off outside, but it's actually a really tight fit, so I don't think it would. Hopefully now I'll just tip that in. Two side by side would have been ideal, wouldn't it? And then you could have filled them both. I kind of expected you to be able to see how full it was. Oh yeah, you can now, the dust settled, so it's up to about there. It's quite well heaped up, but the lid is actually heaped, so there we go. Stupidly though, I never weighed it before I filled it. I think there's about 1.5 tons in there. The other thing I've learned as well is it's wider that way than it is that way. Because when I went to put the lid on, I had to turn it 90 degrees to get it to fit. Looking at the rain and the way Morgan's just turned back in, suggests he's got rained off. Yeah, I'm gonna weigh it full, see if I can work out what the weight empty was. Just short of 1.5 tons, so I think if it was wheat or better barley from other years, it'd be easy 1.5 tons. These hoodies are good for wiping the camera lens. Anyway, before you can buy them online, before I go any further into the buggy out the shed and it gets damp, there's some funny names on today, or at least one. I'll quickly do the birthday bumper because it's a pain to write on when it's wet. So James Davis is 8, William Hector is 9, Sally Watson is 50, Alistair and Jess Goodwin, happy wedding day. Trucker Joe, so that's what it is on YouTube and TikTok apparently, it's his birthday. Miss Anne Pigeon is on there. Ellie Harrison is 8, Michael O'Leary is 44, James Chorley is 50, Adam Ferguson's 4, Gerant or Garant Owen is 52, and David Evans is 40. I think he was the other day and we missed it off, so sorry about that. But yeah, happy birthday everyone on there, and anyone else whose birthday is. Nearly halfway to 48,000 as well, so I think we're probably at 50k by Christmas, which Christmas seems a long time off, but in fact it isn't really, is it? What is it, like 90 days if that? I think is it October tomorrow or the day after, I don't know. When we were draining the other day, the 19mm spanner was missing out the toolbox for changing the shear bolts, so I'm putting it in now. I've just ordered one, £7 or whatever off Amazon. In it goes. Better just check. Still there. Might not be in an hour. You know what happens with tools around here. Checking the wheat in the shed that all the probes are working. noticed that them two have tripped off, coming off that socket. So we'll go and see what's going on in the lecky box down there. Ian's outside just brushing the yard a bit. It's on now, relatively easy fix. It was just one of the plugs not quite in properly. My camera's really slow to focus nowadays, isn't it? So it's the iPhone make you buy a new one. It's been perfect until there was a new one released. Was it last week, the new iPhone, and now suddenly my one's just suddenly decided it doesn't want to focus all the time. Is that a conspiracy theory or true? I'm going to take this round to the workshop to remind me then to get a new flail on it for next week. Keep forgetting, I've been walking past it all week. I've not ordered one. I think Flails direct sell them because someone sent me a link. By the way, radio comes on a little bit after you start the tracks. It's a bit weird. See how they blend in. Two pheasants on the road planings. Just going to run some up to the church car park. They've got some potholes, so just scoot up the road. They had a working party this morning, sorting the car park out and tidying up, and they asked her to help on email, and I said, yeah, remind me. So they emailed me on Thursday to remind me, Jeff. I mean, I'm never going to remember on a Saturday morning an email from Thursday. Anyway, I'm going to shoot up now and sort it. Shame it's raining now though. Is it me, or does that cat look as sad to see the rain as I do? Yeah, let's see these potholes. There was kind of a couple of ankle breaking potholes, so put some planings in. It's not really the best of weather, but equally this time of year now, coming into autumn, it won't be long before they'll end up muddy with leaves. People will be slipping and tripping, so we'll just put some planings in. There we go. Me and Jeff have filled these hollows in now in the rain, and the grid, we've decided that we couldn't leave it low because it left a puddle, so we've marked it with an orange stone, and you've only got a rake to find it. It's not a grid that drains water, it's just a manhole cover, but it's directly between them two trees. If anyone ever wants to try and find it again, that's where it is. That OSR's took well. The grass weeds are dying off, and the black muck's obviously keeping it growing. This is a field that I said was overworked because it worked up really fluffy. You can actually see it looks quite wet and spongy, especially with the rain we've had this afternoon. Hopefully though, in October it'll dry up enough to drill it. We're having a bit of a tidy up. That is the piece of metal out the back of the combine that went from John O'Groats to Land's End, so it's covered a massive mileage. It got stuck in the front of the combine and then ended up inside it. The new one was about 900 quid. So this one is obviously quite a famous piece of that machine. What's the appetite of people if we cut it up with a plasma cutter and like laser etched like a logo on it and sold it as key rings? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But it's basically that flap there. Today's brew time is sponsored by Ashbrook sandwiches that were left over from yesterday, and we're still working our way through the box of biscuits that were sent as well. Morgan's left his car window down all day. It's a little bit damp. It'll steam up now all winter. Quick update on the 1455. Tyre's still up. Ooh. Try to get that block out from underneath it. Oh, he's left that window open as well. Morgan's left his open and that's open. Because the grain shed's not full, I'm going to move the pusher and the bucket inside it out of the way, and then it gives us another bay for parking things underneath. You have to be careful with the pusher on because one little turn at the front and it really swings round. It's not too bad with this one, it's only 4 metres. But the other one, with it being sort of like 8 metres, it proper flies round with the smallest of movements. Stick it up here out of the way. Just like leave it on the pile, as long as there's no electric cable underneath it for the fans. Temperature's dropping today. I bet you them fans will be on tonight, to be honest. Ian had swept that after driven out, put dust on it. This is our special piece of concrete that was formed in a traffic cone that we use for straightening out pedestals. It's obviously trying to roll off. Put it back where it lives, right by the grain store door. Might put a log splitter on this tomorrow. If it's still wet, there's nothing to do. With the dust in the camera lens. Yeah, take the little digger off and put the log splitter on the back of it. Make it a bit more manoeuvrable as well, because it won't be as long. Last night when we finished, we couldn't fit it all in the grain trailer, so I've kept a little bit in the tank. I don't know what the moisture is because it's still on the trailers up where we were combining, but we might have to bring it back here to dry it, so, or at least lift the bushel weight. So I'm going to go and get a jug, get a scoop of barley out the combine now, and then see what the moisture is, and see what the bushel weight is, and it'll tell us what we can do with it. Question is, can I reach through this flap for a sample? Or am I going to have to climb up on the top and open the tank? Oh, look at that growing there now. I thought they'd cleaned it off. To mow that. I did manage to scoop some off there, but it was all the light stuff, so it wasn't a representative sample, so we'll just scoop down a bit and get some out the middle. That looks more like it. It does feel quite light. Anyway, we'll go and weigh it. There was a video and some pictures. The guy that was in here cleaning the tank out, and he got his foot in one of them augers. And he had to get their ambulance to him. That was in Germany. That's why you're not supposed to come in these tanks with the engine running. There's a ladder, this one as well, to get down into it, which is a bit easier. The old ones never used to have ladders down, but this one's quite handy. Right, I'm going to show you the tank folded in from the outside, because you've seen it loads of times from inside the cab, but not from the outside. I have to sit on the seat to do it though. Kind of like origami. I'm sure it was designed by the Chinese. There's the lights turning themselves off. And there's a courtesy light now to climb down. Don't let me jump though. Right, let's tip it in and see what it says. Set for rapeseed, so I'll have to change it. Analyze barley. See what it says now. Drop it in, and if you look, it like wipes the top off, and then it's put it in like a known cube. Fires a microwave beam with it to read the moisture, and then weighs it. So it's saying it's actually 21.5%, and then bushel weight is between 49 and 52. It's actually out of its accurate range to measure, so it's definitely gonna need to go in the dryer. One, to be dried, and two, to get the bushel weight. It needs to be 65, I think, for barley to sell it, or 63. It's obviously well low. That was one of the reasons why was it worth combining? Anyway, we'll find out what we can get the bushel weight to in the dryer and see, and we'll weigh it and see what weight we've got. But if you imagine it's weighing 20% less than it normally weighs, so them trailers are 18-ton trailers. I'd be surprised if there's 13 to 14 ton in them, to be honest. 13 to 14 tons, about 30 acres of it. 2 of them and a bit in the tank. It's done less than a ton to the acre. Similar story for other people's barley this year. One guy I was talking to, half a ton to the acre off his spring barley, which is absolutely awful, and the spec was rubbish as well. But we'll try it anyway. We'll have a look at that maybe Monday or Tuesday. Anyway, I would say that is all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. We've actually had 9.6 mil today. Most of it is on me, and my back is soaked, especially when we're doing the potholes at the church. But it didn't start raining until around midday. Has everyone had rain, or is it some people had it dry? I saw someone was digging spuds. Well, in fact, Fenland Farmer looked like he was going digging spuds today, and it looked dry weather on Instagram. But was that just this morning, or has it come wet for everyone? Anyway, let us know in the comments what weather you've had today.